Hello, hello. Good morning, my friends. If you're here in the future, welcome back. We're playing some Dwarf Fortress today. A little bit more. I'm enjoying our capital city, what can I say? Today, the goal is one that I haven't really made a point of doing very often, but I feel like it'll be even more fun together. This game has a Legends mode, which will allow us to actually see the story of what happened to the people in this fort. So the migrants that arrived and then immediately went insane early on, we can figure out what happened to them. We can learn about the queen and all of her lovers. Alright, I think I'm just gonna get started. Because I know it will take a minute for people to get the notification that I'm here. I'm just going to be talking to myself for a bit here. It's alright. I've done this before. I'm a professional. Alright, we could refill the well. We're in the summer. We got to do that while we remember to. Yeah, once we get into Legends mode, we will have to actually know the names of things. It's kind of difficult to navigate in a way because there's so many events. This isn't one of my older worlds. We're only in the year 108. I usually simulate 500 years. See, we're not flooding, are we? No, they're just washing themselves with the water. That's something else we could do for them. We could get them some soap producing. I don't think I've even done that before. Oh, man. Still kind of pissed at myself for making these the wrong size. Like, really? Just 7 by 10? Okay, then. Okay, then. But also... This one is 7 by 11. Did I make this go down further? It must be. It must be. So, I'll make this go up further. At least we got 7 by 11 now. The dwarves have a 7-Eleven to stop by. We could make it so that they could pass through these areas. Like if they need to get things from multiple stockpiles or something. But it's not really been set up for crafting tables interacting. Like these ones really just need the cloth that's here. These ones are going retrieving stone and stuff, but that's just the diagonal. It's kind of nice to see the furniture actually lined up there. No, it's mostly gems in their thing here. And a bunch of blocks. Did we finish the queen's bedroom? Lots of unfinished projects, but I feel like that's just life, isn't it? If you don't have a few unfinished projects laying around, then what are you really doing with your life? No, really, like, did you finish the projects? How did you do that? Yeah, they're still going through the animals. Now, how I like to finish projects, I circle back around to things a lot. Like, I'll get distracted in one place, and then I'll get distracted in another place. It's good and it's bad. It's working out pretty well for these dwarves, though. Except for the two very angry ones. Are they in jail? One of them is in jail. That bone doctor is never getting out of jail. I don't know what he did in particular, but they've got a grudge against him. Interested after learning about crossbow. Excited remembering performing. Ashamed to be wearing old clothing. Okay. Yeah, the clothes are becoming an issue. So it's good that we spent some time trying to optimize there. Part of the problem will probably be all of this stuff up here. Because that's where they're getting the yarn from. And then they gotta go way down into the depths to gather up the cave spider silk. But they're still getting that faster. So why are they not spinning yarn? Like, they are spinning thread, but not often. It's up here, I would expect more dwarves to want to use it. Since we're leaving it free to anybody to use, but maybe it's because it's crowded with pigs in there. I don't really want to move the pigs outside. We could put them in the Doctors Guild. I don't think the doctors would appreciate that very much. We could put them in here. There's plenty of mud. Oh. They're hanging out in the Hall of St. Cole. That's kind of cool. I like that. Are we able to... Yes, we can. That's nice. We can smooth the stone after we've already placed certain things on top of it. He's having a training session down here. What did he do? Damn nobles. We've nearly made all the menacing spikes that they want. It's on the list. We've got a lot of other stuff to make, okay? Now, what can we make out of the menacing spikes? Why do they want them so badly? Are there, like, traps that we could be making? Weapon traps. Use a weapon or trap component to strike intruders. I don't know if that would be the one. Upright weapon or spike. Upright weapons are a nasty place for intruders to fall upon. Can also be linked to levers or pressure plates to raise them into intruders. You know what? Duchess, you may just be right. I was underestimating you. You were having ideas, just the same as I was. This is going to be interesting terrain to shape. And we're probably going to want to go slow if we don't want to piss off the elves. But at this point, we're fighting the goblins. I'd like to get a certain amount of into fighting the goblins before we start dealing with the elves as well. I'm gonna move the chat so I can have a look at the squads. Looks like most of them are still full. We've got some room here. Take some haulers. We've got lots of marks dwarves already. 'Tis promising. Do we really want to sign our bards up? I don't know about that. Welcome back, Levy. It's been a minute. Alright, this one is a doctor. So I am not going to put them on. Bookbinder can go. Alright. And I may have to remove some dwarves from that again. Because I haven't really been keeping track of which ones I don't want in there. Other than the ones that are actually working crafting tables. You know. Craft stores, workshop. You know, if they're in a workshop, if they're actually assigned to it, I don't want them dying or spending all of their time training when they need to be producing clothing for the entire fort. At least we've got some loincloths now. I'm sure the people will be pleased about that. We've got more blue, and we'll use some marble here just because it'll match well enough. You wooing at me. Yeah, I never decided where I wanted to move the pigs. That's a difficult decision. We'll smooth the hallway there, but we're not going to smooth the dungeon because we don't want it to be nice. In fact, some of these chains will be such good quality that the dwarves will admire the quality of the chains that are restraining them. Oh, he had his punishment reduced. Okay. What even happened? You're Dodok. Ugh. Violation of production order. I guess they're just not making the spikes fast enough. He's in a cage. They put him in one of the cages. Oh man. At least the beatings have stopped. I think I prefer that to them beating each other, but I'm not sure. There's some animals that must have showed up with the last migrant wave that are kind of just wandering around. Some more birds, at least. Plenty more birds. Some other stuff too, but I don't really feel like scrolling through that entire list the whole time. You're trapped at a speed friending event. Oh, I don't know if I can help other than you have fun. At least it's a speed friending event, you know? Like, if it is awkward, it won't be awkward for long. Be true to yourself and you'll have the best chance of meeting somebody who's like-minded. Oh, you wanted to tell me something? I'm curious. Wow. Must have been my doppelganger. I never told you about my evil twin, huh? Yeah. Hopefully it was a fun time anyway. It is funny, that actually is probably the first FPS that I've played on here. I can't think of any others that I've played? Specifically on stream. I don't think I ever played Overwatch on stream. I think the game does have a streamer mode now, though. Which, I mean, I'd consider it without chat being involved, like Overwatch chat. Overwatch can be a bit toxic. Not quite as bad as the worst League toxicity that I've seen, but still pretty toxic, you know? Yeah, there was. I'm seeing a bunch of people playing it that I just hadn't seen play it, maybe even ever. Like, I'm seeing friends on Steam open up Overwatch that I don't remember seeing open Overwatch before. It's like, huh? You're considering reinstalling after like 10 years away. I mean, it's definitely interesting. They added a bunch of new characters all at once. I don't know if I'd say that it like fundamentally changed the game necessarily, but I do like that they let us vote on maps now. Even in quick play. Bans aren't in quick play, but map voting is. And people definitely prefer the old maps, it feels like. Which works out for me. See, I haven't looked at labor in a while either, have I? Yeah, if they're not working on the workbench, then they'll work on mining. Pretty sure that's how that'll work. Still lots of haulers. Oh yeah. The queen and the king consort, I kind of want to just leave to their own devices unless they start complaining about stuff. Then they can, I mean, I might even make them their own little practice squad, but never call them out to fight. I don't know, actually. Come to think of it. I don't know if that's even a respectable position for a dwarf to take. You know? But also, the queen is basically a child still in dwarven years. Like, she's a teenager. She's 25, which to a dwarf is pretty young still. Old enough to have several lovers, but you know, that I don't know if they want to risk her like that. She might need some training first. Man, we've got livestock wandering around. I'm kind of okay with it right now, though. Just in case, you know, there's plenty of places for them to graze until we get rid of them. So hopefully they won't just keel over dead. But if all of the animals outside end up dead, we do kind of want some backups. That's part of why I don't want to put the pigs outside either. Can't risk the pigs. They're indoor pigs. I think Overwatch works best if you play it without putting too much pressure on yourself. I feel like Overwatch, it's a game that's really easy to hold yourself back if you go into it with a mentality that is aggressive towards yourself. You know? I think that's part of why people end up raging so hard in that game. Is because when things go wrong, it can be, like, emotionally devastating sometimes if your ego's tied up in it. I think that's what I'm saying with the game. Overwatch is best if you do not tie your ego up in it. If you're just playing it as a game, and you're having fun, and you're learning as you go along, then it's great. But yeah, as soon as you tie your ego up in it, it becomes a very frustrating game. Ah, thanks for the follow. Welcome, Wilfries. Okay, I guess they ran out of bitter vetch. They're all like, we don't have any, we're out. Okay? Hello, hello. How we doing? What day is it? Friday. I knew yesterday what day it was. Somehow lost that by today. Alright, I'm getting our library started. probably gonna end up expanding this. But we've got enough books to start with that I want them to get started. I'm excited for them to share their knowledge more than just in these halls. Although they seem to be actually using them. We got people like happy about learning things. They're enjoying remembering a bath. Apparently they do have baths here, even though they don't have soap. It's probably why the well is running out so fast. They're not just drinking that. In fact, as long as they have alcohol, they're not drinking that. It is food storage items they're running out of still. In that case... Oh man. Okay. Yeah. I need to organize. Fine. Fine, fine, fine. I recognize it. I recognize I have a problem. Why are they keeping all this here? What have I assigned to this place? Not that! Certainly not that. They just don't want to unpack all the crap from these bins. You know what? They don't have to for now. We've got mules wandering the churches. I think they need chests in here for instruments. That'll get some of the instruments placed. It's weird to see the tavern empty, what? Where did everybody go? They're all trading. You know what, I will make a little stockpile here for all the wool. That might help things along a little bit. Where is the wool gonna be? I think that's a body part. Wool? No. Not a body part. Hair slash wool. There we go. Silly, silly of me. I'm gonna count it all, and we're gonna risk random hairs ending up on here. If they do, it'll just be kind of weird. Maybe they'll be able to spin thread out of it anyway, you know? Hopefully eventually we'll go through this pile of wool that we left when we deconstructed the farmer's workshop that was there. Alright, so the first dwarf I want to list down is the queen. I definitely want to look her up. I don't know how to pronounce the different O's that the dwarves have. Alright, definitely her. Then I think it was one of the first dwarves that we lost. It would be hard to place them now. May have been some of them. It wasn't the ones that are listed as wrestlers and stuff like that. But there were early migrants to Whale Sound that went insane. And I've been curious ever since it happened. Where did they come from? Why did they basically immediately go insane? You know? Something must have happened to them before they ever even got here. We've got a wall made of coal right next to the smelter. That's kind of convenient, honestly. Alright, I'm gonna let them keep going with things. Oh yeah, the Queen's room. Did we finish that? Yeah, that actually looks finished. Now, I know that she wanted improvements to this room, too. She wasn't quite happy with basically any of them. So we'll get some dwarves on that. Yeah, see, she's happy with the bedroom now. Oh, actually. Yeah, she's happy with the bedroom, not happy with the throne room, not happy with the dining room, and she still wants a royal mausoleum. How do I want that to look? I guess we could have it branch this direction. There's some crazy wind outside right now. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna have it branch over here. And then I don't want it to get too close to the other tombs. You know, like I want it to not overlap too much of the other side. But I do want to give her a little bit of a larger space, just so it's easier to give it value. We can, I don't know. We'll give her some engravings and stuff. Maybe a statue down there. In a material that she likes. I don't know how opulent she wants it exactly. If I put these next to each other, does this work? Hopefully. There. This should work. you know what? Kind of want it one larger just so that it's an uneven number. Since we have to put a coffin down here, kind of want to be able to center it around it. I kind of want to be able to center it around it. It doesn't really matter whether it's asymmetrical, but it bothers me. The real reason that I don't like the surgeon in BioShock. How could you turn people into Picasso people? Actually, there's a whole bunch more that I can place without interfering with stuff, but we need more marble blocks anyway. Do I have? Yes, I can skip right down here. Got some malachite in this room, and the cave spiders are getting murked by the cats. I would very much like to lock the cats out of this area. It's part of why I haven't opened the caverns yet. Cats are really, really bad about killing the cave spiders. And the cave spiders are really bad at staying away from the cats, because they like to teleport through things. And we had so many, too. Ah. What can I do about the cat problem? We could make a cat room. It would have to be decent sized. And the cats would probably fight. It always gets to a certain point before I deal with them. Sorry, buddy. We need to fix your cat. Yeah, this is part of the problem. I've fixed a bunch of them as kittens, and then people bring more into the fort. Or they've adopted somebody and placed themselves in a different category. Wow, that's a lot of billy goats. It looks like they grew up. Sorry, boys. They've almost gone through all those rabbits, and there's even more to deal with. Just gotta bring down the numbers pretty continuously at this point. Yeah, that is a rabbit problem. Martino wishes. Now the dogs we can hire. The dogs can help us with tasks. So I actually don't mind all the dogs. In fact, we might lose a few of them, so... kind of rather have more than less. They can also kind of destroy the ecosystem, though. No guild, please, Catface. Yeah, like, sorry, kitties, but the guilders are staying in work in this fort. Hey, the library they finished digging out. How much meat we have? We have 533, 529 now. We're cooking with meat now. The elves hate to see us coming. Hopefully they don't visit the tavern next time. We need more drink. Why do we not have drink? The empty rock pots are a bit of a strange one for trying to get them to store in a specific place. At least in my experience. Maybe something they've changed since last I tried. But yeah, generally, I have quite a time of it. It would be nice to be able to organize them up into the tavern, or even just onto the crafting floor instead. I think they count as barrels, though. Let's try it. Blow in my nose, quick. If you can think of any dwarves or even locations, things like that, that you'd be curious about looking up in Legends mode, definitely bring it up. We can also look up little Karen. We could probably even look up the animals. Not sure though. I think it's dwarves, locations, events, things like that. And like the societies, the cities, the civilizations, you know? There we go. Yeah, the civilizations, religions, site governments, stuff like that. Okay, what's holding things up here? It would be this still. Oh. Yes, they do have plenty to do. See, we're definitely getting wool faster than they're spinning it, though. Something we could do is have them check less often. So they'll spend more of their time spinning the thread instead, hopefully. And just shear them once per season. Alright, we want them making bookshelves now. Give me some bookshelves. We do have lots of iron. We also have lots of wood right now, like more than we can actually store properly, so I'll have them make a few wooden bookshelves. Ooh. Bookcase. I see. Okay. Let me type. Oh. Sometimes it lets you type, sometimes it doesn't. Come on. Nope. Gotta scroll for it. It wasn't a scroll thing. We'll have them make 10. 10 is fine. Then at least we can store some more wood down there. Feels like little Karen is always practicing, but they're on staggered training. Maybe it's just I only notice the named dwarves. Oh. The Gelder and the cat are fighting. Oh, it took a swipe and missed. They're socializing. That might be affection, I feel. He feels affection talking with a friend. And he didn't feel anything after eating a pretty decent meal. Okay, so this guy's making friends. He's actually got a few friends. Look at all them. This guy's good at making friends. Okay. What do you mean you're upset you're not around, Oh, he's not around family. He's got all these friends, but where's his family? He hasn't made one. He moved away from his old family and he hasn't made a new one. Eventually he'll solve that. Especially with all of those friends. It's because there's no drink. That's why the tavern's empty. Right, how's it doing up here? Why are you sleeping in the garden? That's really unnecessary. Even if you don't have a bedroom, there are better places to sleep. We got potato seeds. We got all kinds of seeds up here. See, I would think that blueberries, maybe it's because we have new stuff and I haven't been marking it properly? No. No. See, yeah, they're not making food out of it. Or at least the stuff that's left. Maybe what happened to the stuff that's not left. I'm gonna try to keep an eye out for the harvest. What about this? What is this doing? Let's do... Actually, I think I want to delay this because they're making seeds out of these plants. Let's check monthly and make it greater than 100. See if that slows things down enough for the brewing. So it could be that they're taking that to make seeds too often. Alright, I'm going to actually officially make this the library. Even though there's not much in here yet. They will probably start hanging out here some. Just a little bit. The Inky Palace. Alright, I want to set up some desks for them. I want them to have all kinds of stuff. They need chairs. And they're kind of sitting next to each other this way. I guess they could turn and chat if they wanted to. And then we want a chest here so that they can store all their stuff near to them. And that... Actually, if I flip it, then I can put... like this here. You'll see. I have a vision. Yeah. And then... we can put the bookcases here. Or at least some of them. We're gonna have more bookcases. We're gonna have so many bookcases because we're gonna have so many books. These dwarves will have so much knowledge. Now, something else that we're gonna be needing to do is making our own paper, which now that we're growing our own crops is a lot easier. Something I'd like to do. I kind of want to put the workshop attached to the library because we're gonna need power for it, if I'm remembering correctly. We might not. It was several parts though that we need for it. I think it was at least one that needed power. Like sugar, flour, and various useful slurries here. Powered version of the kern. Must be hooked to a windmill or water wheel to function. So we could use a millstone or we could use a kern. I feel like the millstone's probably gonna be fastest. You know, like... it's gonna be the most efficient, surely. That needing to be attached to the windmill creates a similar situation to here. Something I'm still figuring out how I want to deal with. It's amazing that they're still getting just as much power in there. Even just the small wall has discouraged them from trying to use it as an entrance, though. Alright, they're harvesting the blueberries. I'm gonna check the kitchen labor. peaches they're not using. Good, good. Okay. Where are all the blueberries? Weren't these blueberries? Yeah, they were blueberry bushes. Where are the blueberries? Where are you taking? They should be here. Oh, we got oats. Where's the caravan from? Those look like dwarves. Yeah, those are dwarves. We're good, we're good. We'll bring them the good stuff. And just some of our broken stuff. Because we finally can get rid of it. Have them stop stashing it in random stockpiles. Dropping it all over the floor. Yeah, that's a lot of broken clothes. See, it says body part. It's there. They'll take our shell crafts and stuff like that without throwing a fuss. I have no idea what it was they wanted from us. I basically always forget by the next time they show up what it was they requested. But we've got plenty to sell to them anyway. Hey, there's the pants. All of the broken pants. And the pants that are too big for us. We've got like 1 or 2 humans in the fort. We do not need all of those large clothes. Different armor sets. Can we still not? Oh, they finally took the import ban off of that. That's fun. Not going to sell them anyway, but... Hi, we probably could give them some food. We keep having it go bad when we don't. There we go. Let's get them hauling stuff. That is a lot of pig's milk. I have no idea whether that would be horrible or not, you know? Oh, look at them already. They're reading. Let's assign some people. Have have them think in their off time. Oh, the poets, that makes sense. That makes a great deal of sense. Little Karen, legendary observer. Little Karen can be a scholar too. They do tend to enjoy that. But we'll see. Some of them it disagrees with. Mysteries of the competition. Oh yeah, they love their library already. A limestone crown. Sure. Sure. One of the guild halls will love that. Okay, they're bringing stuff fast. May as well get the broker there. Feels like the cats spend a lot of time in this entrance area. Stozu Dune Scorpion's goblin blood is still just eternally everywhere. Guy's been a skeleton for a while. Oh, he's eating. He will not be interrupted. That's lots of stuff we can get rid of. Look at all that value for stuff that we really just want to get rid of. More instruments. I feel like I end up getting instruments pretty much every time. They know that I like it. They don't have any animals for me that I want. We will take some booze though. We're gonna need it. Okay, they brought a bunch of this too. Might actually be able to give them more value for it. No. No. It did not keep going like that. We'll get some battle axes off of them. Love a silver warhammer. Some nice steel spears. And more crossbows. Feels like we never have enough. Wonder if they actually use the training stuff. Because I've gotten stuff like that for them. Kind of want to be well prepared for when we do end up gardening. in the caverns. Let's buy some cloth off of them. We have gone long enough without it. We need more clothes. We are producing our own, but it's slow enough right now. And we have enough to trade them. You know what? We will take some paper as well. Seems very happy. Awesome. That is done then. No trader needed. I think how I will do this... Oh, it just stays an even number. Oh no. Oh. It's gonna have to be. It's gonna have to be an even number. We'll put this here. Just a little place to leave the library. Do I want it there? Oh no. Yeah, that'll do. I can deal with that. And then this will go up, but in a way that it also can be cut off, like here. And like here. They're definitely using the library already. Even if they don't have a seat, they're standing there and reading it. My friend Arab West Fortress. Oh, I did make a mistake. See, because if we try to do this, can't actually get up there. You know what? Let's make back here a production area. Yeah. There's like just enough space back here. If we stretch it out long like that. And then... it's a decently long staircase, so... that takes us to the high ground at the very edge. Not quite where we want to be, but we're starting to get there. As far as claiming the high ground. No. Not there. Think over here. Okay. That works for now. I will probably mess around with it later on. You know how I do these projects. Just a bit at a time. The Yellow Coven. Yet another one! I guess we've expanded to the library here. We can keep expanding this direction. By 12. I'm gonna give this a double space. And then 9 by 10. Feels weird. Feels really weird to put down the 9 by 10 block first. We'll encase all of that in stone. Actually, this will be the first, like, outer layer of that. And then here, it'll expand into a little tower. We may need to take out a tree or two for that. This is why we are going slow with these projects. I actually, given where we are, and everything we're at war with so far, I don't actually want to end up at war with the elves until I've at least dealt with a bunch of the goblins around us here. And for that to happen, I would really like our people to be better equipped. Which is happening. Certainly is happening. We could probably send these first 4 out. Or even just 2 of them. If we want a small, like, stealthy squad. was it again? It was a millstone. Hooked to a windmill or a water wheel to function. That is a really weird representation for it. Need mechanism, need millstone. You know what? Just work order. We only need one. At least for now. And then mechanisms, we already need a bunch of mechanisms for the traction benches that we haven't finished for the hospital. It's nice having at least 2 of them, but it would be good to have more. Another thing we need to finish they finished building all that, and we probably have more marble. Yes, a few more marble blocks. We are gonna need more. Did we set them to dig down here? No, we did not. But we can. Why couldn't we? Kind of want more of this malachite. This is eventually where we're gonna end up building, like, a little tavern and stuff like that down there. We'll have a cavern lair crafting area too. Out there gathering plants. What are they doing on the outside trying to work on that? Alright, we have a lot more drink than we started with. It looks like the plant processing was interfering with that. How's this guy? Why is he upset? Unexciting life. Getting into arguments, stuff like that. So what's going on with... Okay. She is in a constant state of internal rage, a strengthening after seeing a goblin die in 104. She seeks out exciting and adventurous situations. She finds the humor in most situations. She often feels discouraged. She could be considered rude, though she finds rules of etiquette to be valuable in the abstract. She is currently more rude. She has a greedy streak. She tends to consider what others think of her after wearing old clothing in 106. She's currently more shameless. She finds helping others emotionally rewarding. She's somewhat uncomfortable around those that appear unusual or live differently from herself. She isn't given to flights of fancy. She tends to ask others for help with difficult decisions. She tends to think before acting after seeing Sig and Sacktax die in 102. She's currently more thoughtless. She tends to make a small mess with her own possessions. She has a tendency towards forming deep emotional bonds with others. She's currently more fearless, she's currently more confident, she's currently less private. She personally thinks that it is of the utmost importance to present a bold face and never grouse, complain, or even show emotion, greatly respects those that observe decorum and maintain their dignity, due to wearing old clothing in 106, believes that peace is always preferable to war, due to seeing a goblin die, sees guile and cunning as indirect and somewhat worthless, and doesn't see cooperation as valuable. She dreams of crafting a masterwork. This is a dwarf that is constantly in a state of internal rage. I'm amazed that she's not even more unhappy, frankly. That is, it's probably because we have a really sick tavern or something, you know? Them to do this now because this seems to be the easiest place for something to dig into our fort. I don't want that to be easy. They wouldn't really be able to tell that it's even here, but I don't know how they work, you know? Yeah, I need them to do this now, so that I remember to close it up. Otherwise, I'm gonna look away and forget. Come on, dwarves, get on up here. Yeah, they went up the hill. Not quite what I was expecting them to do. But if that's faster, that's faster. Apparently the dwarves like a good hike up a hill. Alright, I'm just gonna have to remember to go back to that if I look away now. So we gotta deal with this petition. Alright, that is one area. This is another area, and they want the Yellow Coven. The Yellow Coven. What are they all about? They worship the bejeweled jewels, wealth, and trade. The bejeweled umber gold. Well, that's fun. The bejeweled umber gold, the Cathedral of Treasure, and the White Avalanche Cathedral. Huh. That is not a name I had heard before. And I do not want that on that high of priority. Especially since everybody is assigned to doing that task. Are they going up the hill to go in from gardening now? Oh no. There we go. Now we can close that in. Okay, they didn't cancel it. He's just lagging behind a bit. Why did you leave your shield up there, bro? Sick of carrying it, I guess. It definitely doesn't feel like they're using the weapon and armor stands. Is that a setting? Let's see if they do this. Because I assume they have made some improvements. There, I'm seeing an iron crossbow on there. They've got several different kinds of demonstrations going. Another dwarf that gets into arguments. They usually end up so angry after arguing, even if they are a dwarf that starts arguments. It's like, why are you doing it if you don't like it? There, we got plenty of marble now that they're going to be turning into blocks soon enough. Why are they not bringing me these? I do not want metal ores there. Wait, is this the same stockpile as this? It is. Yeah. Okay. That's part of my problem. Let's just have them do that. And then over here, you can have your metal ores and your bituminous coal. You know what? All of these, the economic stones too, can go over here. So a lot of them are economic because they turn into metal. Oh, we got bins. We got bins over here. Awesome. We're not making anything out of cloth right now, though. We're making stuff out of silk, right? Just the loincloths right now. Let's make some cloth robes, because everybody can wear a robe. This is how I end up with forts full of dwarves wearing nothing but robes. It's not because they're wizards, no. Everybody can wear a robe. Who left their loincloth on the bookcase? Oh. So this object is showing somewhere. It's a messed up underwear too, you know? So we got cherry pits and stuff like that too. What are we supposed to do with those? Don't think I can plant trees here. So we can render fat there. I think it is the machines that we're gonna get more functionality out of. All right. Hmm. 8 for that. Sure. Takes a lot more stone to build a staircase than I expected. At the same time, kind of makes sense. Now, I think I'm gonna finally do this. And I would like that to happen quickly because all of the birds running out and all of the doors having to round them up is gonna be a bit of a thing if it happens. Yes, birds, the outside world is right there. Stay inside, you're safer in here. That turkey's thinking about it. Really? Just that one block? Get to it. Okay. Now, all at once. Close it up. Then they can round up any birds that decided to leave. At this point, I could have more nest boxes too. We'll just go with the default 10. We've got enough birds for it. Alright, we definitely need to bring that tree down. And this one. I want it to be 2 out. On each side. Does that take down the ridges? It's the upward slope that's the problem here. on. Can I flatten it? What do I have to do? Let's just dig out around it then. There, yeah. It was the diagonal. Alright. Now, I am slightly worried while I'm working on this, because if they decide to attack while we're doing this, it's going to be a bad time. It is going to be quite a bad time. But we may be just fine. The last time they tried to raid us, it did not go very well for them. Blocks. What do you mean too close to edge? What if I do some floors here? Because of the tree there? What's going on? Something sounds very strange over here. There's like gurgling, bubbling. Oh, is it potato? It's a potato in the way. Got you. That is definitely more important. My bad, guy. It's... Didn't realize they needed the potato first. Are you choking yourself? Don't choke yourself. Yeah, it says too close to edge. Created a very strange situation in this area. I think just because there's stuff above it, too. Well, the elves won't be happy, but we need to take down more trees. Another thing I could take a look at is the bedroom situation. We actually have a few that could be turned into bedrooms here. And we have the doors for it. Some of these I definitely want to make it not made of sand first. It looks like we filled out a lot of the bedrooms. We'll have to pick up their beds to build underneath them, which is going to be a bit of a pain. I'd rather get these down now. Improve them later. Section of the cavern collapse. Good. Good. This is what we're looking for. The top of this tree interfering with this as well. Can we close it yet? No. Eventually I can finish this wall up. I'm not sure what too close to edge means in this context, though. Tis a bit of a strange one. Oh, the cat's caught a bird. Or they're trying to. Oops. This is what I wanted. There. Oops. It's in the middle of something else. It's weird little building projects like this. It's like one part of it that's holding us up here. Literally just trying to get this enclosed. will not let me, so what if I do this? Why is it messing with me? Which one now? Here? Yeah, that can collapse. That's fine. If I do just floor all around it, just to smooth things out, how will that affect it? Because it seems to think that it's on a ledge. But there's not a ledge right there. Okay, they're starting to actually go through the animals. Still below 1,000 meat though. It's just like these two blocks. Too close to the edge of what, though? You know what? Take it all out. Do it again. Okay, it is kind of satisfying watching them tear it down. Something collapsed there. See, we're causing a disturbance by removing things, so what happened? Did we still have trees above us or something? There's bolts in the trees. Alright. Found dead? Oh shit, he fell down the stairs. Oh, that sucks, man. The collapses, even on that level, are a risk. So I guess it needs some supporting structure. Maybe that's part of the problem over there. On this end, I'm not sure what the issue could be, though. Too close to edge. Ow, too close to edge of map, maybe? If that's the issue, then we can move this end in, I guess. Just scrunch it a little bit. Not my favorite thing in the world to do. But it will do. And then we can put the stairs on this side, because there will be a little bit more room for them. Well, that was an unfortunate incident. I'm not even quite sure how it collapsed like that. Sucks for them. The elves are gonna march on me with such force. Yeah, look at all this wood laying around. We had to. Gathering plants right next to the bees sounds like a bad idea right there. Do we still not have enough honey? Where's all the honey? Did we not give them a place to put it? That does not look like the problem. We are not going to include venom on that pile, though. Oh, he's gonna clean himself in the river and it turned to ice. Down to the well. It's a good thing all these plants that are growing in here don't block the water from going into the well. That would become a bit of a problem. Swordsmaster has bestowed the name Nashazir Vathithikud upon a steel buckler. He likes the buckler, that's all we need to know. I'm not sure what the name even means, but hey, they're happy. The dwarves are happy, that's what I'm hearing. And at least it's a steel buckler that he's, liking that much. If it was like a copper one, then we'd be upset. Grand guild hall for the Farmers Guild. I suppose there are enough of them, Do we have any offering places to put down? Not currently. We could put a pedestal down, but... Alright, that should be sealed up soon enough. Are they working on this? Hey, they already grabbed that, so we'll add more blocks there. Where are my cabbages? My cabbages! If I just pause it there, then that should give them time to put that wall in. They're practicing on the stockpile now. Oh boy. I might scooch the stockpiles over at some point. Ah, Priesthood of the Yellow Coven is ready to be recognized. Holy paint. We don't want a liar in there. Have the Persuader and Consoler in there. I like to put dwarves that are good at consoling and things like that in the religious positions, you know? If somebody's going to them, then they probably want to be soothed. Not persuaded. We're not having one of those runs. Who got possessed? A metal crafter. May get something interesting out of that. Of course they want a grand guild hall now. It's the one with all the pigs. They want it to be even nicer. They've already got all of the pigs. That should add a lot of value, frankly. Alright, I am gonna have to call it though, otherwise I'm easily gonna spend way too much time in this game today. But it was fun. It feels like we got some progress done. I didn't add much to my list of dwarves that we're gonna look up in Legends mode, but that's something that we can just add to the beginning of our run for the day. Just have a quick little peek at that. Or even the end if we come up with more next time. Yes, we actually have a library now, and the dwarves seem to absolutely love it. There's always dwarves in there reading. We'll have to get more tables down for them. Alright, thank you all for such a fun time gaming. I will see you soon, my friends. Have a lovely rest of your day.